This is the crypto day morning. Today's date is Sunday, the 7th day of October 2018. My name is Derek. All trades, bets, and of the like within one's own risk reward. As far as Bitcoin's concerned, another day still within this 18 average, and as long as the market keeps doing this, staying within the sideways range near 64 and 66 and a half, there really isn't much more than to say that's what's going on. Let's move on to the next topic. So I'm not even going to put Bitcoin in the title. It will only be that of the ARN coin, as today's video will explain or talk about the current technical analysis, and I'll go through every single trade that I've made within the coin. So let's take a look at ARN. And on with its daily time frame, it broke out of this resistance field near 61 and had a very good up day yesterday, and breaking established resistance by a gain of better than 60%, 67, 65%, or 4 divided by 6, which is 66 and 2/3. And we'll see how does this look. Well, on the 27th of September, I talked about this then as something that was looking good, or several days in which it was showing strength amongst the 18 average of highs after having these 2 days here where it came up near the 6,000 mark. It did come up near it there on September the 4th. And then what do we see after it? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days of it continuing to show strength on the 18 highs. However, this time it was supporting the 18 highs and putting a lot of time, or spending a lot of time above such, where before it was crossing above and below it. And because this established resistance was in play, it's not a surprise when the breakout happens there's a good gain. And when you're looking for setups that look good, well, there's a setup that looks good, and there's the result. The leg higher is in. Will the leg higher continue? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But I do realize that this play is over. And now you'd have to look for new ones to follow through on the single hour time frame. This is the move. It happens fast and furious. I know it's a movie name, but when you look at the size of these volatile moves, look, I mean, these are nothing, these moves in here. The moves that precede it. This was a big move back here on the 22-hour timestamp, October 2. Nothing compared to this. It's now current volatility. But after this big volatile move, you have another period, low 7,900, high 10,002. The differential, very high. Here, 86.50 to 75. That's a differential of 1,100 points, like 15%. This one here, 76 low, 88 high. Differential of like 11, another 15%. This one here was huge, low 7,000, high near 10,000. So a 50% move. Then the volatility would start to reduce, but still be good. Single hour time frame, low 85.53, high 93.24. So now we're talking about 10% moves. This down move was one that was, I'll give you the exact number. Well, not exact, but 8,500 low, 9,100 high, 600. So 7-8%. So lots of day trading availability can come into place. As far as how the market move has came into place, like normal, big move, massive volume. Volume has been depreciating, and the market hasn't really went down. It has remained in a sideways manner. So that gives me optimism that just maybe when we take a look at this on a more longer term basis, looking at this on a 3-day time frame, last year when it had its move, it went from the 1,500 handle up to about the 60,000 handle. Oh, about a 20x gain. Right now, where we stand, well, we have a 3,500 low, so we've managed to basically have about a 3x gain. Maybe it's got the potential to come up and test some of these areas. There's this big resistance level at about the 13 into the 17, 18,000 area. And then it's just a matter of what X gain can it have if this is going to be the situation. it's made a big statement that this move, as within such, on the 3-day time frame, it was showing few days, like 4 days, showing strength amongst the 18 highs. But this line that I have in at about 6,080, it's pretty much an area of a must hold. It can definitely dip through it, and it doesn't even have to go there. If you see continuation, and then you're looking at this on the short term, where it manages to get above this 18 average of highs and start to show great momentum above such, then when it only has this of a correction, then I get very leery of the fact, ooh, am I going to see as much resistance around this 10,000 number? And if I do, well, maybe all it will do is come back to maybe 92, if that. That's some of the things that I think about. So that's the analysis within such, and I'm going to talk about every trade that I have made among such. So I'm just going to scroll this back. I put a buy order in a while ago. I think I made a video one day and I said, yeah, I'm going to put a buy order in here. I left it and it took a long time to fill. And where did that hit? Well, it was in at 64.05 on August the 2nd. So I bought it when it came down here, but it continued to go lower. I'm up right now. I'm up overall. My portfolio on this play is up 50%. Which is better than just buying and holding, which would be just up 20%. But I bought more on the way down. As over the next few days, 5,600 I bought, on 4,800 on the way down, and 4,000 I bought at. And the market from that point after started to go higher. I'm not going to switch this into a shorter term time frame and take you to that date. And it was on August the 17th, selling at 46.89. I'm on this move here. Then the buyback. Got it back at 4,000, which would be roughly around here. Then I sold at 4,500. Right at this high. That worked out. And the next day, buying at 41.72, buying symmetrically. So I end up buying in this area in here. But obviously, I would buy again as the market continued to go lower. My buy order was 38.11, which hit on this move here. The low was 38.03, so I bought in here. Now, how much did I buy and sell for? Well, I'll explain that at the very end of all of the transactions. Then the next up move gave me 3 sell orders, as one was above 4,000, so roughly around here. And then again at about 4,300 and change. And then, let me get the exact number, 47.79. I thought it was over 48. My memory is not the greatest. 47.79, which would have occurred in here. So there we go, 3 sell orders that would come into place. Let's move some markets. See that it was coming up near that level of support, but continuing further with the next trade. It was a buy order at 43.71. Following that, selling at 47.98. which would have been right in here. 44.69 was my buy order, which would have been right in here. So a buy comes in. Then 47.28 and 54.88. So 47.28 would have came in here. No buyback. And then 54.88 would have been in here. No selling at these higher prices. I would have, had I known the price was over 6,000, I would have sold there. Now, I don't have every seller to go every segment. For I'd have a seller at 54, then I would have had one somewhere probably over 7,000 as my next one. So obviously that didn't hit. Okay, I'm going to remove this slide. I don't really think I need it. And I'm going to add more time, and it goes down. So we can see, so buyback city. Question is, how many buys would I get? Well, the buys came, I think there was 3 of them. And correct that, there was 4. 47.11 first. So right in here I got one buy-in. And then 43. Then 4,000 would come about here. Finalizing it with about 34.51. How close was that to the bottom? 34.13 was the bottom, so another buy down here. Let's add more space or more time. As we can see, has it came up to this level towards the September 17 mark, but obviously this is going to be sell territory. And the first one came in at about 38.5. So that would have been up here on this high. And then again at about 43.5. So this 43.5 here. And then 51. So roughly here. And then again at about 5,600. So roughly here. So nice to get those sell orders in. The buyback comes in at about 47.20. Right down here. I would then sell it next at the price point of about 5,200, 52.5. So that would come up here. And this is going to lead us now into yesterday, as now no trades will come in until the price point of 58. So actually no, there was one more trade in here. But then the market just moves in this nice pattern. Nothing near to trade. My next sell order is in at 60, almost 66. And obviously on this period it would have hit. I sold at 65.87, 74.49, 8,300, and 94.89. Now I'm going to go back to the current chart as we see it on a more shorter term time frame. And this will be used via the 15-minute time frame. Another correction came into place. When this happened, I had a very strict, very aggressive buy order. 6,500 and change was where I was looking to buy back. When there's a move like this, this thing is going to go really wildly. Although at some point I'm most likely going to have to settle in and maybe just buy at a whatever price, which turned out to be a very interesting situation because I bought at 78.10. Right here. Literally about 15 seconds before this green candle did what it did, I was seeing it go up. It was like, yeah, look, 2 minutes after I did the trade and I see like 8,500. I'm like, crap, that's amazing. Okay, good thing that I got in. Now I had to leave for a few hours. I put my sell order in at 89.88, which meant that it would have hit right here. I was thinking about, do I go closer to this high, ultimate lower high? And I obviously went for the lower high situation. And it hit. I could have gotten better. So be it. And even interesting here, this deep buy order that happened after. This was... And this is, you can trade this on multiple exchanges, although Binance is the big place to trade such. And I was already gone when this happened. But it fell down to, on this period here, to a low of 68.68. Now again, my buy order would have been 65, so it would have missed. And what happened, I got the sale here. And now I'm just waiting to... trade for the next one. So my buy order, sell order as it stands, it's at 72.51. So right here. If it goes down there, I'll be buying. That's a decent leg lower from this point here. And it's also a good percentile differential. when you're talking about 9,072. My next sell order is at 11,000 almost, a hair below 10,900 and change. If I buy here, I'll be looking to sell up here, of course. And I'm going to sell within the volatility. For before, I was doing a lot of shorter term, like 7%, 8% kind of moves, or 10% moves. When the volatility gets bigger, then I try to get decent size differentials between the buys and sells. So how much do I trade for? Well, that's explainable via math. And one easy answer is X. You can use A or B or C. But X is how much of a risk are you going to put on it? Are you going to put, say, 0.10? 0.01? Maybe a full Bitcoin. Let's just assume that you put 0.10 on it. When you originally buy something, how much does it cost for 0.1 of a Bitcoin? That's how much I would buy to enter a position. So let's assume in a particular coin I would get 500 for my intended value. Markets go down, and then it's time to buy. So therefore the value, which was 0.10, might go down to, say, 0.087. So now I got to buy to get to X 0.013 worth to bring it back, so that my portfolio after every trade is always going to be worth the same, which is X, your risk tolerance. And sell, same thing. So basically what I would do is I would say, okay, for me to make a buy order, if the price goes down to that specific point, so therefore say 7,250, how many tokens would I need, or how many coins would I need to be worth that? And then there's a differential. So I take that number, subtract what I already own, that's what I buy for. Same thing on the sale. So if markets go up, you're worth 0.1 after a trade. Markets go up, say 15%. Well, this would be worth 0.115. So now I'm going to sell 0.015 worth to get it down to 0.1. And in conclusion, as I switch back to the daily term time frame, what this is going to mean is that in situations where 10, 20, 30x type of coins move, that I'm going to own a lot less if it goes to 43,000 than I do now. And in fact, I'm going to own less than 80%, because the amount that I need to get to X up here is a lot less. And this strategy enables me so that as long as I play the volatility, I really don't need to concern myself too much on what I call quote unquote selling out, or quote unquote. But that just means selling out of most or all of your position because it's up too much. For there are some coins I trade a little differently. And I do so where when the markets go higher, my value of the coin also increases, although I'm doing the similar type of trades shown on this video. Meaning, if I'm worth X here, then when it comes to here, I might want to be worth 2X. We're just holding and selling nothing, I'd be 3X, because it's 3 times higher. So that means if I was, say, putting 0.1 into my portfolio here, it would be worth 0.2 at this stage. And then if a market, say, has a 20x gain for the market itself, I'm going to want my portfolio maybe to be 5 to 6 times higher. Because I'm going to be selling on the way up, but that means if a market, say, doubles, I might only sell 20% or 25%, not half of what I own. Using this type of maneuver here, if the market doubles, I would sell half of what I own, because X is always supposed to be worth, well, I'm not going to say what I put into it, but it's always the same. So therefore, again, simply, if the market goes down 50%, I would pretty much buy what I had before. Or If I have 100 of a particular coin, market falls 50%, I'll buy 100 more. Of course, I buy intervals along the way as shown in this video. Thank you for tuning in. Again, everything's within your own risk and own reward. I like to say that because here's a situation where if you took the risk in here with a great setup, well, now you've been able to get some reward because you've sold some, you sold all, or hopefully you know something's good and this will go higher, or you know something's good and it's going to be worth a lot more. And that's the beautiful thing about this risk reward. Getting 20x gains and preparing for those, really not that hard. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.